feel the fire in my heart? I need no new friends. I am not afraid to take a life. I kill your last for real. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects.
Born to win. Look at me, I'm far from sin, but I kill you with my righteous stick. You think you fly? When your grandma said get out of the house, and where you ride? Elite ass nigga, I tried to tell it, little boy. Lord said you're killing them, be the ones hold in my hand. I ain't sparing the big no, what's really real? I'm trying to kill all the way to the finish. You got a prince over your court saying, stupid ass crocker, let's speed it up. Our people just so cursing, it's freezing up. Hurt murk, put your ass in the dirt, and ain't even tough. Backpack full of stats, so together, but ain't even enough. Fool, I'm ready for war. Ready for sun up, sundown, UPK war up. Stop a cracker in the pieces, fuck that, this torture. Ain't no karma, little bitch. Turn your ass to a slave, cause you know what is written, little hoe.
Can't you feel the fire in my heart? I need no new friends. I am not afraid to take a life. I kill your last for real. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects. To kill or be killed, the Lord respects.
I'm a key. I'ma be that one that's in the dreams you was fearing. I'ma walk it down like a sprinter, then cut your head off. It's in my hand, I watch it dang. And I'm a beast with mine. Your girl looking at me now, I want no peace of mind, cause I'm a killer. It's a boulder right there, it's for your child. I grab his ankles, and I'ma split him. And happy shall he be when your family tree is taken, like he did my people. Don't you remember the Trail of Tears, Andrew Jackson and his crackers? Boy, you took my brother's baby and killed him and said thanks for the giving. Don't you remember what goes around comes around, and I'm waiting. I'm motherfucking waiting for that day, man. For me to grab your baby ankle and throw his damn head against a boulder back and forth till ain't nothing but goddamn ankle in my goddamn head. Yo, fat ass over there like a goddamn sofa leg, a sofa arm, cracker, like a whale washed up on a beach or something. You better get right. Fuck all that technology that you got when a low return, oh yes, it's on.
To kill or be killed, the Lord respect.
Okay, I walk up out the door. Fuck everybody, cause if you ain't UPK, I ain't worried about you. I got a lot on my mind and only class can save me. So you know me, I'm first class, feeling educated. Okay, I go by my mission. Then the shouted in the world's walk to me with intention. She said she know about the school, I like my music, she listen. She said she tryna come in, but her sis keep her distant. I told her Charlotte the water, and SHALAM, I see her. Tryna see if she on game, if that tongue looking decent. She said SHALAM, Yahweh Shema, Allah Bahashim Yahweh Shah. This shit got real on me.
She's caught between the fire. It's really in her mind. It's easy to be evil. Secrets inside of me. Don't let her see me wasted. Don't let her see me down. Don't let her see me fake it. Truly, I wanna do right.
I caught this youth
for real. I should've known you was trying. And to lock it off the real, I was caught in my mind. And if you know it, then come in. You gotta add it and all. Don't be afraid to change your ways. Be afraid of your dime. I mean, you see how to attend. What sense keep it by? She said drinking, smoking, that's something she do all the time. Homegirls ain't really shit, but they the nearest ones by. One got too many niggas, and the other bitch by. I said, damn, try separating. Get educated. She said I said try harder with an exclamation. You gotta fight temptation and have some patience. She said it's boring, I like clubbing and getting hella wasted. That's them demons that start up all of them legions in you. Once you throw, that gay bitch gon' try to eat your pudding. Once you throw, that whole bitch gon' try to bring some niggas, and you'll fall every time. Or am I assuming? I say I'm with you, shouting, or you with yourself. I can help you, baby, but can you help yourself? You say you know a little something, but do you believe or what? You know what sins all around, put that wisdom first. She said the water, I oughta be following you the realest. With my Bible and head wrap, modest the P. I say no sweat, take my number down, and don't call me, I see you around. She's caught between the fire, it's really in her mind. It's easy to be evil, secrets inside of me. Don't let her see me wasted, don't let her see me down, don't let her see me fake it. Truly I wanna do right. Shalom, Israel with the I.S.U.P.K. Started off in 1 West 125th Street. We teach black and Hispanic and Native Indians the Bible, and they are the lost 12 tribes of Israel. So knock, knock, I shall go get the dough. I look up, see sis dressed head to toe. Yeah, I smile, and the rest was a rap. You gotta get inside the school to know what happened after that. Shalom.
I know exactly what they want. I know exactly what they want. Just be patient. My name is my name, power and glory, I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name, you go to war with me. We move the same, you think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me, y'all keep the fame. I want the glory, been that nigga, bitches never ignored me. Rich in spirit, little bitch can't afford me. Day one static, fix it with a 4G, red beam on it. You think I'm recording, kick in front doors, you try to backdoor me. We are not a gang, bitch, we an army. Book a den, you know I don't tell stories. Keep it 100 in enlightenment. You niggas fake baby K name Adonis. Mini Drake. Clip curl, but somehow I can shoot it straight. Insta clip, I can shoot 4 minutes straight. Turn this to the Super Bowl if I need to. I can hit your chief up with an eagle. Set you up on the score, but they lied to you. Why you letting them niggas mislead you? My name is my name, power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name. You go to war with me. We move the same. You think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name. You go to war with me. We move the same. You think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. You won't see it coming. I move like a crook, a thief in the night. So watch what you put. My aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long. A block away, I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man, so thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand. Think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name. You go to war with me. We move the same. You think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name. You go to war with me. We move the same. You think that it's for me. Running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. With the war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all. Y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all. Y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all. Y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all created this monster.
I ain't even start the live yet.
What do you think, Tawab?
We're rocking and rolling on the YouTube and Facebook.
We're good to go.
Okay, we're good to go. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatham to all the brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'ashem Yahshai to all the sisters, Priest and Officer 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. You already know how it goes this Wednesday night. We got a law class that's going on in Toronto. This is exclusively for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right, I get it. This is the internet, so everybody can watch, right? But what we're going to be talking about is going to hit home for many Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Listen, y'all can come in and troll if you want, ask all your questions. It doesn't even matter. You're just going to help our algorithm. So help the algorithm. Just make sure you tap the screen as you're doing it, right? What's going on with you, Barack?
What do you think, Tawab, about one? I got in the moment that you said he already had to kick someone out.
Good night. Yeah, it is. I didn't even say nothing, and they just listen. They come in here just to troll. It is what it is. We, they like us. They're fans. Fanning them. That's what they say. So like, hey, for anybody who don't know, Commanding General YAHANNA will be in the Carolinas for the Feast of Purim. He'll be opening the Feast of Purim. When is the opening? I believe the opening is the 22nd and the closing is the 29th, so the Thursday and the Friday, and then we'll be having camp. Listen, all loyal officers and troopers, captains should be at that camp. It's voluntary, right? It's not mandatory, but you should be there. Again, listen, if I could get down there, I'd be there. Right, so if you could get down there for Commanding General YAHANNA when they're having camp, you should go. Again, he'll be opening and closing the Feast of Purim, where we honor and remember an honorable sister. Listen, a lot of you sisters are not honorable. Barack, I was on this TikTok earlier today, and a bunch of women were talking about the person they hate the most. Who do you think they hate the most, Barack?
Baby father.
Yeah. Okay, these were sisters, Barack.
Slovakia?
These were sisters. Maybe that might help you.
No, I said their baby father.
No, they're talking about black men, Barack. They were talking about black men. There's a group of women who fall victim. They are agents of Caucasian supremacy. And they were on TikTok talking about black men. So you know me, I jump in. Bitter sisters don't teach sisters anything. The older women should have taught them not to be bitter and taught them how to be good women and good sisters to their brothers and sisters. This was in the comments. I jumped back out. I jumped back in by accident and went to see something. And I looked at the comments and they would not let anybody else comment. They put you could only comment if you subscribe and pay them $7.99. Like, good night. Who the hell is paying these sisters $7.99 to talk about some brothers? Like, that's crazy. Listen, because of Caucasians, our sisters directly are taught to hate the most hated man in the world, right? Which is the black man. If you're a Hispanic, it's a Hispanic man. If you're Native American, it's a Native American man, right? But sisters are taught to hate their counterpart. And that is a direct agenda of Caucasian supremacy, right? But tonight we got a class. Listen, I got this class directly from Captain Mashak. Good night. I watched this class. I'm just going to try my best to reiterate some of the things that he said. Listen, if you're not in this school, you do not know the treasures that are in this school. And one of those treasures, one of those jewels, one of those swords that Commanding General Yohanna will wield is Captain Mashak, my yum. Listen, that's the Benjamite priest, Salakia, right? And so I'm going to try my best to reiterate what. Good night. Listen, a sister with blonde hair is definitely a horrible thing, but at the same time, like, you know, I love my sister, so I'm gonna tolerate her burden. I'm gonna just teach her not to rock the blonde hair. Listen, put in some red, put in some purple, put in some blue hair, put in some pink hair. Just don't rock that blonde. I'm gonna teach her how to love herself, though. That's what we do in here. We are no cowards, so we don't tear down our sisters. And if we, okay, I'm gonna say it like this, right? We tear down. One second, Barack. Barack, take over for a second.
Okay, no sweat. Just like Grand Texas said, he said he can't stand a sister with blonde hair. Really, whatever hair she rock, you know, like Officer Budget was saying, whether it's blue, pink, red, or whatever she wants to put in her head. Really, the point is she needs to love herself, because what's really wrong with the blonde hair, especially the blonde hair, right, is that they're trying to emulate their Caucasian counterpart, which is really the problem. Because, you know, some sister may have, like, you know, they could be sisters like having the same hair color as what's her name? What's that chick's name again? Ice Spice, for instance, naturally, you know, or whatever the case is. But really, when it comes to the blonde hair, the point is you're really doing it because you're trying to emulate the white woman. Stop trying to say because, you know, you think you look good or because it makes you feel better. The only reason why you think you look good and makes you feel better is because the beauty standard that a lot of sisters have is by looking at the superior race, or the race that is ruling the world right now, which is the Caucasian people. It's the only reason why they put blonde hair. So yeah, whatever she wants to put in her head, go ahead, put blue. Who cares? Put blue. Not that we like blue hair, but it's way better than blonde. You
Right.
understand? Let's just start there, and then we'll make you understand that you need to love yourself and stop looking at these other nations, you understand, as an example or as a beauty standard. When these other nations, what do you think these women spend their time in the tanning salon and get all these lip fillers and so-called BBLs? They're trying to look like you in the first place. That's the crazy part. While trying to look like what you look like, you're trying to look like them. You know, just wake up, sis. Stop trying to look like a dog. You understand?
Right.
And stay looking like a princess. Salakia.
Yeah, no sweat, Barack. Yeah, so that's what I was seeing, right? Like these sisters, they were just going in. But again, tonight we have a class. Listen, life is about war. Life is definitely about war, right? And if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you know life is about war, because our life has been a war zone. We live in war zones, open war zones, right? So we're going to talk about it. All throughout the Bible, you're going to find out that life is war, right? All throughout the Bible, you're going to see war, and we live a biblical life. You could see where our brothers and sisters, right? We could see where our brothers and sisters are in places where it's war zone. This person said it's only a war zone if you don't learn from it. And I bet you none of you guys served in the military. See, this is how I know that brother is a coward. Carlton, you're a coward. You ran to the oppressor's military and thought that was actually war. So you, a lot of times, right, you went and fought other nations for the people that destroyed your people. You are a coward, right? We are in the Lord's military. What we do is we go in war with our brothers and sisters to fix their spirits, right? You're talking about carnal war, where snipers go from mountaintops and snipe something that might be a goat. 95% of the time it's a child, right? You would rather fight for the oppressor in his military while he flies drones, because the oppressor is a coward, right? Carlton, I guarantee you that you are a coward. I guarantee you that you would not last here. That's what I guarantee. You would drop your sword because you are a coward. You are a beast. ITCH. That's what you are, Carlton. Con.
Grand Texas. Carlton said, I got my country, USA. Grand Texas told him it wasn't yours in 1920. Even in 2024, it's still not your country. Why? Because you celebrated Martin Luther King's Day, integration. You think you're on the same level as the people running the military you served in? Listen,
Yeah, Carlton's a coward, Barack.
you're in
We're
a
just gonna
sunken
leave it at
place.
that. We're just gonna leave it at that. He wants to serve in his oppressor's military. Go serve in your oppressor's military. Back when our brothers fought in World War II, back when our brothers fought in World War I, they came home in Texas and couldn't sit in Caucasian restaurant or disrespect them. And that's what you want to go fight for. That's on you. I'm gonna fight for my people, for my sisters, to fix our sisters so we can have better communities. Right. So let's get into this. Life is about war. Carlton knows nothing about war. Right. Men like Carlton will jump in a live. He wants to come up on the live. This is not the time. You got a question, you could definitely type your question in, right? Or your comments, whatever you want to do. You can help our algorithm. But again, there's no cowards in here. Carlton Banks, what is wrong with you? Right? You think Uncle Phil is gonna help you. Uncle Phil's not gonna help you here. Good night. Bruh, can you get me Exodus 15:3? That's what I want. Okay. Exodus 15:3. Hold up.
Let me know when you're ready. I got it.
I'm just getting my KJV open. I got it. I'm Tuwa Barak.
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
Carlton is not a man of war, but our Lord is a man of war, right? Our Lord is the other heathen nations fear him. He goes to war with us. You can see that our Lord is a man of war. Slakia, what happened to my nigga Barak? Let me get you back in here, Barak. Not sure what just happened. Right. We go to war every day. Like, people are asking if we've been to war. This is how you know the people who are asking if we've been to war, they have no spirit. They don't understand the spiritual warfare that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go through on a regular basis. They only see what the oppressor tells them to see. They see dropping bombs on Hiroshima and call that war. Listen, the U.S. went to war, right? And they got beat up in them jungles. Good night. Them Viet Cong were strapping branches on branches and tying rope. And when you tripped over that rope, a full branch would come and give you a box from hell, and you were spiked into that tree. You were falling into pits with logs that were sharpened that had feces on it. The U.S. lost that war. Why are you so amped about have we gone to war? If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you've been at war since Caucasians came off these ships, right? A lot of you Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans don't understand that you are actually at war, right? But I'm going to get into this. Barak, read that one more time.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
Right. The Lord is a man of war, right? That's the spirit that the Lord is, war. You have to understand that. That's the spirit that the Lord has. It's not, the Christian church is going to tell you that it's not a time for war, right? Listen, there's a time to love. There's a time to hate. There's a time for peace, and there's a time to go to war, right? Let's see. Wilfred, what did Wilfred say?
Wilfred is as impatient as a child, clearly.
Well, Wilfred, what you would have to do is ask your mother why pimps are glorified. That's what you should do, right? Now, I'm not sure if you were serious or not, right? Because that has nothing to do with this class, right? You're asking why are pimps glorified? because this is a kingdom of sin. And many people want to move after their oppressor. What's the difference between pimps and slave owners? Right? They're oppressors. That's the same thing. Right. So we'll get back to it. The Lord is a man of war. Our spirit is war. We are a people of war. We got our kingdom through war. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, in this country, in the countries and the lands that we're serving are slavery, right? That we're being oppressed in. We have to go to war daily. And the sad thing is the Christian church, because it's such a soft and effeminate place, brothers are losing that war, right? If you want to learn how to fight and go to war, you got to get in these ranks, right? This is, again, you have to understand that this is there's two aspects of war. There's the carnal and there's the physical. Spiritual war being waged against Blacks, Hispanics, and a traitor. Right. What day was it yesterday? It was Orgy Mike's birthday. So everyone was talking about Orgy Mike. Is that what was going on, Barack? Yeah, they were talking about Orgy Mike, and Orgy Mike is a traitor. You're wondering who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Martin Luther King Jr. or Michael King. His father later changed their names to Martin after one of the Lutherans, right? Salaki. If it's not the Lutherans, it's who was it exactly?
Some devil.
Yeah, some devil. His father glorified some devil, so they changed their name. And that's what Christianity gets us. Christianity is a house of lies, a house of cowards. Right. That's what's happening. Christianity is a house of lies. It's a house of cowards, right? We go to war in the spirit. We go to war with our women. We go to war with our children. And here we don't let our children oppress us. We don't let our women run over us, right? We go to war with whatever is going on, because that's what life is about. It's about war. And the quicker you understand that, is the quicker you're going to be in a better place, right? That's the quicker. With quickness, with speed. Once you understand that you are Salaki, that was my baby. I got a daughter, man. She be making weird noises. I'll be dying too. I'll be trying to hold that shit in sometimes when she be making those weird noises. Ranger 25 said you are reading from their book. Well, if you would, what Ranger 25 doesn't understand is that the book, the Bible, is a Black, Hispanic, and Native American book. Everything in it is Black, Hispanic, and Native American. What our oppressors did was take it and make it seem like it's about Caucasians. But when you actually read the book, you find out that it tells you about the destruction that the Caucasians are going to go through for touching the apple of the Lord's eye, which is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? One of my favorite verses is, what is it? Revelations 10 and 13, or is it 13 and 10, right? Where it says, he who leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. And you got to understand that there was a people that led Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans into captivity. You look into the reservations in Northern Ontario, right? And you're going to see our brothers and sisters being held captive. And you know how you know they're held captive? In a land that they used to possess, they do not own any of the financial institutions. You know what is on their land though? Cheap cigarettes, firecrackers, and bingo halls. That's their economy. I've seen it, right? Once you understand that, you're going to understand, listen, we are at war. Again, in here we go to war with everything. You know who doesn't like to fight? So-called brothers who instead of dealing with a sister, they say the sisters are unruly, right? Well, I'm gonna hit you the game real quick. A sister is not gonna respect you if you don't give her something to respect. You think they're like, oh, these sisters are so unruly. I gotta run to the Philippines. Good night. Listen, you were weak. A lioness doesn't want a meerkat, right? A lioness, if you act like a gazelle, that lioness is gonna eat you up fast. And they run. They run to go get something that it's not like a sister. It's the total opposite, right? And instead of running around, driving around in the Benz, they want a Ford Pinto. Like, damn, that's crazy. And those brothers are weak, right? So let's get into this. Barak, let's get Luke 14 and 28, right? While we go into these scriptures, we're going to be talking about war and just basically fighting and not to be a coward, right? Ranger, that's definitely a good question. Who knows who owns those casinos? And listen, even if the so-called Native Americans own the casinos, right? I'm not sure if they do. Even if they do own the casinos on their reservations, that's like you know what that sounds like? I'm gonna break it down to you, Ranger. Ranger, you had a whole mansion, right? Ranger, you had a mansion, and I took your mansion away from you and told you, listen, I'm gonna give you this small corner of the backyard where you could put a lemonade stand. You could put a lemonade stand in this small corner of the backyard on the property, and that's how you're gonna survive. Instead of the mansion where you could have rented, you have an 18-room mansion, you could have rented out 17 of those rooms. I pray you understand. I pray you get it. That's what it's like being a Native American in Canada or America. They put those brothers and sisters on the reservations. Like, here's facts. In Canada, they had down there for the last almost 20 plus years a boil water alert advisory. That's what it's called, a boil water advisory, meaning you can't go drink your water without boiling it. You literally can't drink your water without boiling it. And that's been in Canada for 20 years. Now, if that's not a people fighting battles, I have no idea what is. Right? So, Barak, you can get me Luke 14 and 28.
Okay, let me know whenever you want me to read it.
Yeah, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm gonna get it right now. All right, you can read it when you got it.
Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost?
Right. So you want to do something, you want to build something, right? You got to figure out the cost of what it's going to cost, right? Maybe the material, maybe the manpower, right? This happens a lot. If you are a strategist, if you plan to do something, you got to figure out the cost, right? And that's what war is. That's what fighting is. That's what going to fight for your people's like, right? You got to figure out what is the cost. You know who never figured out that cost? Martin Luther King, right? He turned around and said after, right? And which is absolutely crazy. Like, it's like it was already too late. Yeah. The machine he set up, he didn't know how to stop it. He didn't know how to turn it around. Like, the machine he set up was like a oil tanker. You know what oil tanker? It's at full speed. It's at full speed in that water, and it's beelining to the shore. And you got to try to stop it, but there's not enough time to stop it. You can't turn it around because you don't have enough space to turn it around. That's what Martin Luther King did. He didn't count the cost, Read it again, Barack.
Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower
Stop right there.
sitteth not?
Martin Luther King was trying to build a tower of Caucasian women and men. That's what he was doing in them hotels on those road trips, right? And many of you might not understand that. He thought he was doing something good for the black people, for his people, or many people thought he was doing something good, right? Really what he was doing was chasing after his lust. He was building a tower of lust. That's why he wanted so-called his children to be hand in hand with his oppressor's children. And that hasn't worked out. He didn't count the cost of what it was going to do to us as a people. Downright traitor, right? And as a people, it destroyed us. And when that brother started to see what he was doing and what the damage that was being done, he turned around and said he fears that he led his people into a burning house. That house is on fire now. It's still been on fire. You look at how Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans lived before segregation, right? We were, for lack of better words, we relied on each other, right? We had to turn to each other. Listen, we were still going to be harassed and oppressed by this monster that turns around and paints himself as something good, right? But we still had to rely on each other, right? Why would you want to go into a restaurant and eat bland food, someone who's gonna spit in your food, when you could just go to his sister's house and go get the food and support that economy, right? Martin Luther King didn't understand what the cost of it was. Many brothers and sisters never understand the cost of what it's going to take to actually build this nation, to actually build something in our captivity. And that's why it's easier for them to just conform to what the oppressor wants them to conform to, right? Instead of saying, we're not going to celebrate your holidays, they just rather do it because it's easy, right? It's like when you go to, like, okay, for example, I'm at the slave, and a devil that I work with basically said, he sneezed and he looked at me and I looked at him and he looked at Rock. You know, like one of them cartoons where it's like y'all be looking at each other and then you're looking back at the camera, and then you look back at each other, and he sneezed and he looked at me and I looked at him, and I'm about to walk and he's like, you're not going to say bless me? And I shook my head like, no, why would I say that? What the hell do you want me to say that for? Like, this is the grown-ass man sneezing and he wants another grown-ass man to say bless him because he's a child, right? And he looked at me and said, you're not even going to bless me a little? No. And he just walked away. Many brothers would have caved and said, bless you, when I'm not saying that, because I understand that it's going to take a fight to not love these oppressors. And many brothers and sisters, I say all that to say this, many brothers and sisters, they just rather conform, right? Now, if he asked me why I didn't say bless him, I'd have just told him I don't believe in those superstitions. Many brothers don't even want to have that conversation, right? Can you imagine someone with a name like Savage is calling us racist? That's crazy. It's like, oh man, that is terrible, right? But again, many brothers and sisters don't count the cost of war, right? And that's what you have to do when you're going to war. Like Martin Luther King didn't know what the cost of going to war was, right? So keep reading, Barack.
Sit it not down first and counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it.
Right, meaning, do you have what it takes to fight this battle? right? You got to make sure you have what it takes to fight these battles, right? And that's what we're learning in the I.S.U.P.K. We're learning how to fight our demons, how to fight our battles, because life is about war. And if you want to go to war, you got to make sure you have what it takes, right? Now, one of the things you need is to make sure the Lord is on your side. You want to go to war, you got to make sure the Lord is on your side, right? You could be 4 against 10. And if the Lord is on your side, you're going to win. It could be a 3-on-1. And if the Lord is on your side, you're going to win. But if the Lord is not on your side, good night. You might be unalived out there. Right? And this is something that we see with brothers and sisters all the time that aren't in this school. Right. Read that one more time, Barak.
Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counted the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?
Right. And okay, so people might hear that and they might think money. This is something like, Barak, what's the one thing you hear from these so-called conscious leaders or blackity black people, the people who are always trying to tell black people what to do when it comes to like fixing us? Like there's a common theme that they say, which you can have it, but if the Lord's not with you, it doesn't even matter.
So like I'm not even sure. These cats are, I don't listen to lunatics that much, I don't want.
Well, okay, so I'm gonna put it like this, right? When you listen to the conscious community, to the blackity blacks, they say we need money. They say we need a economics. That's what they say. They say we trying to fix the black community. You need economics. Let's get us some economics, more money. We need all the money. Listen, we got all the money. We have all the money that we need, right? Where do we spend it? Right. How many Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans spent money on Christmas trees? Right? They took all that money and went and bought Christmas dinner. Right? They went and bought all the fixings, decorated their house with some lights that they're probably taking them down now. Probably got a dusty Christmas tree in the house still that's about to light up on fire if they turn those lights on. Where's the money going? Right? So money is not the issue. We had money. We had money in these towns. Listen, before Martin Luther King, we had towns with lots of money. We had black baseball teams. We had black basketball teams. We had accountants and doctors and lawyers because we needed to rely on ourselves, right? After Martin Luther King, all our economics went to our oppressor, right? So these people say economics, but that's not it, right? You want to count the cost of war? Well, you got to know that to go to war, you need the Lord on your side. Right. That's what you need to know. You need to know that the Lord is on your side. Right. And how do you do that? You do that by not sinning. You do that by separating. Martin Luther King wanted us to join our oppressors, and it hasn't worked. Like who could? All right. If I seen a video, Barak, right? This was on I think, where was it? It was on Instagram today. I seen a video where this sister, she's at work, and I guess she got fired from her slavery, and she's in the slavery trying to get her stuff. Like she's working at the slavery, got fired, and is trying to get the stuff and her personal belongings, like her coat, her purse, and her phone and stuff. And this oppressor is not letting her get her stuff, to the point where she starts fighting the oppressor, right? And there are people recording this, and I don't understand the cowardice of so-called. Listen, I can't say that I don't understand it, because I understand that Christianity waters down our brothers and sisters. It's like that video I took of the brother who was dancing outside of Young and Dundas, right? And he said he was dancing to show what it's like to not what did he say? He says something very effeminate. This dance that I'm doing is showing you what it's like to not accept Christ. I said, how does that even make sense? The brother just looked effeminate. He's on the street dancing with a Moabite and an Elamite, some Asian woman and some East Asian woman. Right? He didn't understand how effeminate he looked. Right? But we in here again count the cost of war. This sister, she was not being able to get her belongings, started fighting this devil. The devil started manhandling her. The sister's losing this fight. And I'm like, damn, if I was there, that would not be happening. I know for sure if Barack was there, that would not be happening. Right? That devil would have learned quick. You do not touch any of our sisters. Just like Jonathan Majors learned quick. You do not touch any of the mayonnaise women, even if she has your phone. You touch a mayonnaise woman, and now you're not Kang the Conqueror no more. Jonathan Majors went from Kang the Conqueror to Usain Bolt down the street. And damn, the brother was found guilty of some misdemeanor, like a charge that damn near doesn't give jail time. You might get a probation. Unintentionally injuring this woman's finger while trying to get your property back from her. That's crazy. That should let you know that you are not loved in this place. But this sister, she got fired from her job and she was trying to get her belongings. The devil started fighting her. Right? And that's to let you know that's Martin Luther King's fault. That a sister has to go to work for some oppressor, right? And not get treated like a human being because she works for an oppressor, right? When we worked for ourselves, there was a time when we worked for ourselves and we had our own economy, right? Again, Martin Luther King didn't count the cost of what it would do to his nation. And by the time he realized his mistake, the Lord had him unalive, because the Lord maketh alive and he destroyeth, right? I'm paraphrasing, right? The Lord killeth and maketh alive, right? Salakia. But there's one more thing. Brock, you still with us? All right, so there's definitely one more thing. Now listen, the first thing you have to know about war. I'm gonna see who's in the comments with us. Who's in the comments? Let's see. We got a few people in the comments. What is the first thing you have to know about war? If you're a nation, right? What's the first thing that you should know about war? And it's very important. Shell said unaliving. No, it's Michelson said your enemy. Let's see. KD said no clue. Well, Michelson, you are definitely on. You're onto it, right? Your enemy. It's not just knowing your enemy, right? It's knowing that you are at war, that you do have an enemy. Like, you just don't want to know your enemy. A lot of people know their enemy. Like a lot of black folks know the other nations don't like them, but they don't understand that they're actually at war with the other nations, right? I'll give you an example. This is an example, right? In Jamaica, there's a community in Bull Bay, right? Bull Bay is one of the provinces, right? Or Kingston's one of the provinces. Bull Bay is like the area, right? So in 9 Mile Bull Bay, there's a beach. They call it Bob Marley Beach. This is a area where listen, there's nothing happening over there, right? You could jump in the I.S.U.P.K Jamaica, the I.S.U.P.K Jamaica live streams, and Abadawan or Kayadwan will tell you all about it. right? But in 9 Mile Bull Bay, there's a Bob Marley beach. They say that Bob Marley went to this beach. Bob Marley has the spirit of his father who was an oppressor, right? He's not our people. But they say, yeah, definitely. That's one good brother Kayad one. I assume that's what you're talking about, right? But check this out. They say Bob Marley used to go down to this beach. Now, in this area, there's not really too much happening. But the beach, if you're down there and there's nothing to do, it's a highlight of your day, especially in that hot sun. You walk down Beach Road and you go in the beach, go jump in that salt water, let the waves hit you. Listen, you might see a sister. Your sisters might see a brother, but before you get with them, you should learn who that person is. Court them for a year, right? But that's a sidebar, right? This beach is now being overrun by heathens and being sold to the point where the people of Kingston, Jamaica, in 9 Mile Bull Bay can't go and use the beach because it's about to be sold to some oppressors, and they're about to build a resort, right? That is the cost of not knowing that you're at war, right? What is the phrase? There's a phrase, it's a very brainwashing phrase that's used in Jamaica. And that phrase is out of many, one people. When you understand that, that is like, it's Christianity. It's that give your love to your oppressor while you get nothing in return. Right? That's what that phrase is. Give your love to your oppressor and get nothing in return. Right? You got to count the cost of war, and you got to also know that you're at war. 1 second. Right? So you got to know that you're at war, and knowing that you're at war, now you can go to war. If you don't know that you're at war, good night. It's going to be a hard, you're gonna experience life that we experience now. And many brothers and sisters find out that they find out they're at war the hard way. They find out they're at war when a police officer is beating them upside their head. Right? A police officer is beating them upside their head with a baton, dragging them out their car, and if you think that you're going to do the same thing that your oppressors do, right? Don't watch these YouTube videos and think, hey, because my oppressor tells the police, I'm not giving you my ID, that you get the same grace. That's not what's going to happen. A police officer is going to beat you upside your head with a nightstick. They're going to Salakia. You think that they're going to pull the taser? Now, how many of you think if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American and you tell the police officer, I am not giving you my ID, they're just going to pull the taser on you? They're not going to. They're going to pull a Gen 4 or Gen 5 Glock 40 on you and unalive you, because you are not the same as your oppressor, right? And the people in Jamaica are finding this out, that out of many, one people is a brainwash. It's a brainwash of the oppressor's Christianity. And they're finding out that they're at war. And now they're wondering why. Why is it that they can't go to their beaches? Well, you put heathens over you. You were told to love heathens and you went with it. And that is, again, the brainwash of Christianity. And here in the I.S.U.P.K, this is something we know. We know we're at war. We know who we are. We know what has been done to us. Here's another thing. Listen, how many times have you brought up slavery and someone's told you, I don't want to hear about that slavery, or that's in the past, let it go? It's like countless times you hear that's in the past, just let it be. Right? Well, once again, Once again, when you don't know that you're at war, you're going to be told to let it be, right? Guess who's not being told to let go of their past? There's a people not being told to let go of their past. And that is so-called blacks. No, Salaki, I'm saying it wrong. The people who's not being told to let go of their past is everybody except blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? The Asians get to talk about World War I and II, and how the Japanese could talk about Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The Germans could talk about World War I and II. The people who built the tunnels in New York and had beds in their children down here, you know, they wear little hats, they drop bombs on Palestine, right? Those people, the people who go down the rabbi holes. Pause. Listen, I heard that phrase. I've been dying. They said they went down the rabbi holes. Man, I need that little picture of them coming out that sewer like the Ninja Turtles. That's crazy. Right. The Japanese they get to talk about the concentration camps. If a black or Hispanic, like if a Native American starts to talk about the Trail of Tears and the Highway of Tears in Canada, right? The Trail of Tears from Florida to Oklahoma in the United States, and the Highway of Tears in Canada, they're going to be told that was in the past. TM listen, if you have a daughter, you better figure out how she's going to dress, right? You should figure out why the women that you like dress like women who walk the streets at night and sell box. Salakia. Right. So again, where was I? There's a people who tell you, Khan.
The sister Shell asked, why do the heathens steal other people's nationalities?
Because the heathens are stealing. Okay, there's a verse that I want, right? Brock, can you get me 1 second? I'll answer that question real quick. Now, Brock, can you get me John 10 and 10? Right? The heathens don't just steal other people's nationalities, right? You gotta, okay, there's a specific people that are stealing nationalities, right? Now, most heathens, a lot of heathens do, but specifically the Caucasian man steals nationalities because he's a vagabond. He has no inheritance on this earth, right? His time is coming to an end. And then you got to look at whose nationality are they stealing. Now, okay, you see Caucasians go to South Africa and say they're the South African. You see Caucasians go to China and say they're the last, or what is it, Japan? Japan had the samurai. They go to Japan and say they're the last samurai, right? But heathens are stealing nationalities because they don't have a culture. Like, what is a heathen's culture? Right? Especially like when it comes to cave people. Cave people don't have a culture. They don't have anything that people want to mimic, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, their culture comes from the Most High. Their flavor comes from the Most High, right? 1 second. I'm going to give you a verse that's going to explain who and what these heathens do in the earth. John, can you, Salakia, Barak, can you read John 10 and 10?
Kawakan, this is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 10. The thief cometh not but for to steal.
right? The thief, meaning these heathen nations, they weren't born to be the Lord's chosen people. They were just a vessel that the Lord made to punish the Lord's chosen people, right? When we sin against our God, we're punished. You wonder why Eminem can be called the GOAT of hip hop, is because that's damn near a punishment. That is, again, they don't have any flavor, they don't have any culture. So they're coming to take our culture. They go around the earth and take what they can, right? Cain was kicked out of the garden and he became a vagabond. Cain is the forefather of the so-called Edomites, right? That spirit that's in Cain, that was in Cain, is in the Edomites today, right? They were a killer from birth. Keep reading, Barack.
And to kill and to destroy.
Right, that's what they came to do. They came to destroy. Now, if they take someone else's culture, they're destroying that person. Right? You see them, they'll come and take your culture and then tell you that, listen, it's theirs. It's not only to you. Right? It's like when people say hip hop is for everybody. How can hip hop be for everybody when it was made in the ghetto and only blacks, Hispanics were in the ghetto? Native Americans were forced onto the reservations. Like, how does that make sense? Right? Caucasian people, they had what they call white flight. They ran to the suburbs when we tried to move into their communities, right? And turned our communities to the ghetto, right? So the heathens steal nationalities because they don't have any flavor. That's why. All right, where were we? We were at Luke 20. We were at Luke 14 and 28. Bro, can you read that one more time? Luke 14 and 28.
Karawakan. Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it?
Right. You got to know that you're at war. If you don't know that you're at war, you're going to lose very badly. You're going to be destroyed. And the Christian church has worked effectively on not letting our people know that they're at war. Right. That's what Martin Luther King did. He basically made sure we would listen. And what happened even after Martin Luther King was unalived, that basically galvanized him, right? Now, people thought, like, listen, this is the way we're going to get out. We're going to follow Mahatma Gandhi and talk about peace. When Mahatma Gandhi didn't like Black people. Have you seen how East Indians deal with them? What are they? East Asians? We'll call them East Asians. East Asians deal with people of darker skin, their own people. They throw acid on them. Like if they see a East Asian woman with dark skin, they throw acid on her. That's to let you know whatever Mahatma Gandhi was preaching was not for us. And Martin Luther King, his advisors were of the LGBT community, right? So listen, first he's putting sin on sin. He's listening to advisors from the LGBTQ community, and then he wants us to go and join our oppressors. Well, we joined our oppressors, and how did it work out? Right? Okay, who lives in a predominantly Black neighborhood? Put a 1 in the chat. If you are in this chat and you live in a neighborhood that's predominantly Black or Hispanic, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see something, right? Okay, so Shell, you said you do. Are there any? Who owns the convenience store in that neighborhood? Who owns and operates the donut shop or what else is there? The convenience store, the grocery store, the donut shop. Who owns those things? Right. That's what I want to know. Who owns those things? Ethiopians. Good night. Listen, that's the truth, right? In the neighborhood I'm from, it's the Asians. They own the convenience stores. The Dollarama is not for us. Like, you just look at your neighborhood, right? We don't have an economy in our neighborhood. We get paid and we go give our money to other people. We pay rent to other people. We're not paying it to each other. Right. Listen, one of the greatest things about COVID was a lot of these restaurants and stuff were closed. Right. So brothers and sisters started cooking out of their crib. And you listen, during that time, you started to see money. You started to see money being spent within the Black community from the Black community. If you're Hispanic or if you're Native American, it was Native Americans spending Native American money with Native Americans. Right? Hispanics spending Hispanic money with Hispanic people or Latinos, right? That's what we've seen in COVID. Right now, COVID is not, the lockdowns are not in effect. And you get paid, and listen, you want to go get some steaks, you got to go to, who owns the no frills in your neighborhood? Who owns I'm in Canada, right? I'm in the city of Toronto. Who owns the coffee shops? Who owns just all the things you go and spend your money with? You spend your money on. It's not your people. And that is Martin Luther King's fault. Orgy Mike. Right. Orgy Mike is the reason why we don't own anything in our community right now. Right. Salakia. So first you got to know you're at war. Right. Barack, anytime you want to jump in, you know you could jump in. Right. So first you got to know you're at war. If you don't know you're at war, you're going to turn around and see our life in our neighborhoods and not knowing that we've been at war a long time, right? Listen, not knowing that we've been at war a long time is why you see brothers unalive each other. It's crazy. Y'all seen what happened to Young Dolph's brother? Not Young Dolph's brother, Salakia. It got me tripping. Yo Gotti, they say Yo Gotti's brother was unalived in Memphis not too long ago, maybe like a day or two ago. Right? Isn't that where Martin Luther King was? 1 second, let me see something. MLK and Memphis.
So like a Kanawakan, he was unalived in Memphis, Tennessee.
Good night. Listen, I'll read something real quick. Let's see something. This they call this the greatest civil rights story ever told. This is the greatest brainwash. They have a whole hotel that's damn near like a museum. Damn, that's crazy. I was just looking at this website real quick, right? I was hoping it was going to give me an article, but it didn't give me anything. Not really. Let me get the file that I want. The King family and others believe the assassination was the result of a conspiracy involving U.S. government, the mafia, Memphis police, as allegedly by Lord Jowers in 1993.
The crazy part is that every time there's someone that people gravitate to gets incarcerated or unalive, it's always a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy on Martin Luther King. There's a conspiracy on Malcolm X. There's a conspiracy on Polite. There's a conspiracy on Rashad Jamal, these nature boys. It's always a conspiracy when they just cannot see that the Lord was not with them, that these Negroes were just wicked. It's that simple. There's no conspiracy. You understand? Commander General Yohanna is alive and kicking well. What are you talking about? And he's the one really helping the people out there. You understand? There's no conspiracy. Martin Luther King was just the black face of white supremacy in the civil rights movement. When they were done with him, and after he got his post-nut clarity, he was like, you know what, maybe I messed up. They're like, you know what, he realized he messed up. We don't need to keep him anymore. Let's just get rid of him. He's no use of us anymore. That's it. There's no conspiracy about that. These nature boys, Rashad Jamal and them, they're child abusers. There's no conspiracy. Those are wicked Negroes. TD Jakes being exposed is not a conspiracy. He's just a purple cat. And he goes to Diddy's parties. You understand? Stop trying to make a whole spider web of conspiracies. It's as simple as that. The Lord was not with them because they were not with the Lord.
Right. That's how. Now I'm gonna read something. Martin Luther King, an African American clergyman and civil rights movement leader, was fatally shot at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee. Listen, young Yo Gotti's brother was unalived in Memphis, right? If Martin Luther King did a good thing for us, you wouldn't see Yo Gotti's brother unalived in Memphis, right? Isn't that where Martin Luther King was doing his work, right? Didn't he want civil rights for us so we could be better? Here's something y'all don't, a lot of people might not even understand this. And then they turned it into a hotel. This is how you know our life in this kingdom, whether in Canada or in America, is a joke. They turned the place where the brother was unalived into a museum. Like, that is horrible. They didn't turn the family house into the museum or the church. They turned where his blood was spilt into a museum. Right. They take Black, Hispanic, and Native American life for a joke in this kingdom. They turn around and then charge you for that life, right? But he was unalive there. He didn't know that we were at war. And because of his lust for mayonnaise women, right, he was unalived. And because of that lust for mayonnaise women, and as reports go, he like the caveman too. Listen, that brother was a horrible brother. Man, that is. And you know what's you see the years later, you see the Christian church today and how effeminate it is. Right, Barack? They see how effeminate that Christian church is today. Right? You got Kurt Franklin talking about he was writing songs for the Lord butt naked, and for some reason he felt like he needed to tell us that. Like, I just don't understand why he needed to tell us that. He could have just kept that to himself, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Salakia. The crazy part is that now a picture of him sitting on TD Jake's lap is going viral from back then, and now he felt compelled to tell us that he's writing songs for the Lord naked. Listen, again, this is not a conspiracy. These cats are effeminate. That's just what it is. The Christian church is equal to a rainbow club and a whorehouse. Nothing else. That's it.
Barack, you are not lying. Right, Barack, you are definitely not lying. The Christian church is a horrible place, and the Christian church has made us weak. And we don't understand that we're a nation that is at war. Right. Now, Khan.
I just want to add this. The Christian church, right? You see men like Terry Crews thinking, he's a big brother, all muscled up, and listen, you don't want to mess with him. The Christian church turned Terry Crews into a victim, where he lets himself get molested by Hollywood executives, thinking that he doesn't want to portray the image of a super violent big black man or whatever. Listen, somebody is grabbing you, right? I mean, you have the right to defend yourself.
Right.
But because of the Christian church, Terry Crews was compelled to just let it happen. Now nobody's taking this brother seriously, unfortunately, Why? That's because of the Christian church and the indoctrination that we receive from our oppressor. It turns you'll see Debo or the biggest nigga on the block just bow his head, bow down, and kiss the feet of a white man. Why? Because of the Christian church. They'll let Harvey Weinstein grope them and not gonna do a thing about it, or another executive, you know, send them like rainbow signals. Let's put it like that for TikTok, and not do a damn thing about it right in front of their partner, right in front of their women. Why are they gonna let it happen? Because of the Christian church. Christian church makes you weak. The Christian church takes out all the masculinity in you. You understand? So the Christian church needs to be. The Christian church will crumble. It will never be risen back up. You can see it right now. Even during COVID, the Christian church closed its doors to everyone. They said, they can't allow anybody in the church. The I.S.U.P.K. we always have our doors open for all brothers and sisters seeking for help or refuge. The Christian church doesn't care about you. It cares about your money, and it cares about your children physically, if you understand what I'm saying. So lock out one.
No sweat. You ain't lying, man. That Christian church is a horrible place to be if you are a brother, right? But again, like I've seen, if you look at the brothers who come outside of that who go into that Christian church and who are in there, they don't fight for their people. It's always like, no matter what, they fight for. Even going back to the story I was talking about earlier today, where the sister was fighting some devil at her slavery she was fired from. The devil would not let her get her belongings out of the slavery, meaning her jacket, her phone, and her purse, right? In the video, once she got her phone and her purse and her jacket, she stopped fighting. She walked away. That's all she wanted, right? And this is one thing you have to understand about devils. Them devils know that they're at war with us. Right. Because of Christianity, we don't know that we're at war with them, right? That devil was trying to physically fight the sister being not stronger than the devil, then the caveman took a chair to hit him. A brother out of listen, this man, I'm gonna just call him Uncle Ruckus. Right? For some reason, whenever it comes to us against the oppressor in physical combat, there's always some type of Uncle Ruckus that's coming to try to save the day for some oppressors. So with that said, let's give a hand to all the folding chairs out there. All the folding chairs and the brothers and sisters who were at the Montgomery boat brawl. Because in that day, they surely did not be good Christians, right? They were the opposite of that. Them folding chairs, man, are golden. Listen, you better put a folding chair in your arsenal, right? So the sister was trying to fight. The devil was losing. She tried to take a chair to the devil. Some brother jumped in and took the chair from her. The devil grabbed her sister and body slammed her. And the brother did nothing. I seen another video where some damn near 250-pounder caveman tried to fight his sister and he was punching her in the face. Like, I'm surprised she wasn't unalived. I'm surprised she wasn't KO'd, right? But a brother, a courageous brother. Now, I'm not telling you to just go outside and go look for fights. That's not what you should not do that. Do not just go outside and look for fights. But if you see your brothers and sisters being attacked by another nation, let's take that as a declaration of war, right? Because when Jonathan Majors grabbed his phone and shoved that cave woman back in the car, they took it as a declaration of war, and now he cannot be Kang no more, right? But some brothers seeing the sister getting punched in the face and listen, he flipped that devil. Beat the brakes off of him. Give that brother a hand. Right? So we got another precept that I want to go into, right? So you got to count the cost. Part of counting that cost is knowing that you're at war, right? Barak, can you get me Luke 22 and 31?
Okay. This is the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you.
Right. So Simon, who later became Peter, right? He's talking to Christ, and Christ is talking to him, and Christ is letting him know, like, listen, Satan wants you, right? Who understands what that means? Right. I'm gonna help you out. Just think about Job, right? Barak, read it one more time.
Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you.
Right. So what he's finding out is that Satan wants you, right? So again, you got to think about it like Job, right? This is one thing you have to understand. Once you start doing the work of the Lord, right? And brothers in this school understand this, right? Once you start actually doing the work of the Lord, your demons are going to come to you it's going to be gang. Those demons are going to come in gang. Like, you think you beat one demon, and then you open your door to go outside, and there's like 15 more demons just right there. Right? Listen, I'm going to give you a true story, right? Okay, so I went to a bar, and this is like, I'm coming into the truth, right? I went to a bar. Now, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you, I only ever want sisters, right? As I'm coming into the truth, it's like more and more women that aren't of my nation start paying attention to me, right? And it's like, what the hell? Like, yo, these women have never paid attention to me before. Why are they paying attention to me now? Right? It's because I understand I only want a sister. And now the demons are, let's see if we could get into sleep with a woman from a heathen nation. That's what's going to happen to you as you come into the truth. As you start to learn more about who you are and what you got to do for your people, you start to do the work of the Lord. Right? You start to do the work of the Lord. Them demons don't want you to do the work of the Lord. Like, okay, it's like a courtroom when the Lord is when you start doing the work of the Lord. On one hand, you have the judge, which is Yahweh, right? The Lord God, right? He's a judge. You have the prosecutor, who is Satan, right? And then you have Christ, who's your lawyer, and Christ is fighting for you, right? And Satan is trying to accuse you. He's trying to Salakia. He's trying to make sure that he's trying to prove a point. Satan thinks you're weak. Christianity makes you weak. Martin Luther King was weak. Many brothers fall after that trap of Martin Luther King. Barak, what's the time like?
We've been going at it for an hour and 15 minutes.
All right, no sweat. All right. Once you start to do the work of the Lord, your demons are going to come. Meaning Satan's going to test you. He's going to sift you. Meaning he's going to see if you are worthy. Like what happened to Job. Satan told the Lord, listen, you want to know about Job? If I consider Job, when they had their major council, if I consider Job, Lord, you put a hedge around Job. And the only reason he's protecting you is because you blessed him. Let me see if he's going to still be humble and still speak the good things of your name if we take away everything from him. Right? And that's what Christ is telling Simon. Read that one more time, Barak.
This is Luke chapter 22, verse 7. Chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you.
Meaning you start to go through your life as you're changing. And as you want to change and you're changing, you're not doing nothing no more. Like, okay, I'll give you another story, right? I'm talking to one of my friends. I went to go see him. I'm in the world. I'm a trooper now. Went to go see him in the world. He's in the world. I'm a trooper, right? And listen, a trooper is just coming out of the world. So we're as you're a trooper, you're fighting all your demons, right? You're learning how to say no to things. You're learning. And listen, when you're a trooper, you have the zeal. Your zeal's on 1,000. Like, you can't wait to tell everybody you're an Israelite. You can't wait to you just want all your brothers and sisters to wake up, and you want your whole family, your whole neighborhood to come into the truth with you. Because if you don't have no one in your city, it's a lonely walk, right? Your phone slowly starts to stop ringing because people aren't inviting you because they only go outside to celebrate their birthdays now. They only go gather on their birthdays and family events, which are Christmas and Thanksgiving, right? Women walk away from you because you're not buying them Valentine's Day gifts, right? So I told my friend, like, listen, we're Israelites, and no, I don't mean like Rasta Israelites. I mean like, yo, we're Israelites. We're like the tribe of Benjamin. And this brother looked at me and said, yeah, you want some shrimp? I was like, good night. Like, what the, like, no, I don't eat shrimp. The brother looked at me and said, yo, this shrimp is busting. You sure you don't want some? And I think, like, okay, obviously I didn't eat the shrimp, right? But this brother is a brother I would hang out with damn near every day. And it seemed like for 3 weeks straight, all this brother ate in his house was shrimp.
Yeah.
Like, you go to everyone understands. If you're Black, Hispanic, you understand. You go to your family's house or your friend's house and they're cooking, you're in that pot. Like, you can smell the food from the door, and you open that pot and all you see is roaches. You see sea roaches. It's like, damn, I'm gonna get some Uber Eats. He's like, you don't have to spend no money. There's food in the pot. It's like, nigga, I told you for like the 1,000th time, I don't eat shrimp. Right. And that is a fight you're gonna have to fight. That is a fight that you're gonna have to fight, right? Christ told Simon, the Satan wants you. Meaning, listen, Satan's going to test you. This happens all the time. Sisters get in a relationship, and what's the one thing sisters say in a relationship? Salakia. The sister will look at a man and be like, you're my better half. You're my world. I need you. You complete me. And then the demons start to talk to her and telling her, leave that man. And a lot of sisters end up leaving that man. Right? That's Satan. Satan's trying to get you to go against whatever you stand for. If you say that you're going to stay with this man, right? Satan's going to put it in your mind to leave this man. You want it, I'm never going to leave this sister and I'm going to keep her. Satan's going to do everything to try to get you to leave this sister. Right? In the UPK, we don't leave sisters. Sisters are going to have to walk away, but we don't leave them. Right? And sisters don't leave their husbands. That's what we do in the UPK. Christ told us not to divorce, so we don't do that. Right? But Christ told Simon that, listen, Satan wants you. He wants you, right? And you know what it is too? This is an enemy that you can't see. Right? You're in the truth, and you think that your life is going to be okay. How many people thought that when they came into the truth, their life was just going to be amazing? Like, yeah, I'm in the truth now. My life is just going to be glorious. It's like hallelujah. like you know what Christians say, right? They Christians make it seem like once you start to read the Bible that everything's just going to be prosperity. That's what the pimps tell you. And pimping pastors tell you that. Who was that? Who was that asking the question earlier about pimps, right? Well, a pimp is a pastor. A pimp is a preacher, right? But according to Christianity, if you join the church, your life is just going to get better. When we read this Bible, we understand that coming in is going to be a test. It's going to be a test. Your whole faith is going to be tested. Your whole, listen, you said you're not leaving. Well, Satan's trying to push you out the door. Right? You took your officer's test, you had oil poured on your head, and Satan is on a full attack mode. It's an enemy you cannot see. Moto, what are you asking for? You said chapter and verse. Like, speak coherently. Like, you just said chapter and verse. It doesn't. Proof of what? You're just coming in to say anything. Right? Listen, Barack, you know, you speak of Satan and they pop up. Good night. Right? If you want to find out what I'm talking about, just go read Job, the first chapter. You'll see that Satan goes to test Job. Right? Life is a test. Life is about war. We read earlier, Exodus 15:3, God is a man of war. Right? And like Barack said, the work doesn't stop. Right? You got to keep working. Right? Keep reading that verse, Barack.
That he may sift you as wheat.
Right. The Lord is going to have Satan sift you as wheat. You said you were coming to stand for the Lord. Well, we'll see. Right? Hey, shout out Street Kings, right? Shalom. Right. Listen, the Lord is going to test you and sift you. Sift. If you're wondering what it means, sift, S-I-F-T. It's like when you, all right, during the gold rush, they would take pans with holes in them, right? Pans with holes in them so the water can leak through, but then the pan has a mesh at the same time on top of it, right? Above the holes. So you would take this pan and put it in the water. You would shake it up after you take it out with the rocks in it, right? And you would start to see little speckles of gold. You would sift through that pan and the water to find the gold. That's what Satan's doing. You think that because you're in the truth now, because you said you're going to follow Christ, that your life is going to get better. It's going to get worse. Because you said you're going to stand. Well, now the Lord wants to see if this is really true, right? And listen, a lot of times brothers get a light. They get a light sifting. They don't even get the whole Job sifting. 1 second, bro. Take over for a second.
No sweat. So just like Officer Baja is breaking down, right? Listen, you're not gonna just come into this truth and your life is just gonna change overnight, where you're not gonna get tempted by whatsoever. Because we all know, just to give you a quick example, right? A lot of us come in here, we start smoking and everything, and the next thing you know is every single person that was in your life before the truth, listen, y'all coming at you like, hey, you're hitting a blunt, you're hitting a spliff, or whatever the case is. And you have to remind them, I stopped, even up till today, I didn't smoke in years. Today, brothers still coming up to me like, if we're rolling up a joint. I mean, this is crazy. It's just temptation just for you to get back into the world, or a brother coming at you with like some money scheme, so that, what, you get tired of struggling or working a 9 to 5 or thinking you're not making enough money. The brother comes to you like, listen, we can make a couple bands right now.
Yeah, that's the one, bro. That's the one right there. You in this truth, and listen, that slavery start to slow up. And as that slavery start to slow up, brothers be coming out the woodworks like, hey, brother, you ain't talked to in years. or a heathen. Like some brothers might have been friends with heathens, right? Back in the day, and a heathen comes out of nowhere and says, listen, I know how to get this PPP loan. Right? And you just lost your slavery and the fridge is going empty. The bills are starting to pile up. That's Satan testing you. That's Satan testing you and giving you the sifting, right? That he may sift you like wheat. And that's what Christ told Simon, right?
Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of y'all, you're not strong enough to endure till the end.
Hey, Shalom,
Right.
things. We appreciate it.
Shalom, Kings. We'll see you next time. But the point is, a lot of y'all are not even strong enough to not even have sex for a while, so that the next whore that comes to you saying she want to lay with you, you lay down with her, and then it burns for your rest of your life. Or you get stuck with a dragon for the rest of your life and she puts you on child support. You understand? You're not strong enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna struggle with like $15 an hour or whatever the minimum wage is in your zone. You're not strong enough for that. It's like you never experienced the struggle before. Like, listen, if I go back to the struggle right now, it is what it is. I've been through the struggle. If I go back to the struggle right now, I mean, it's just another. I mean, we're not ruling this empire. We're just slaves in this empire. So what it is for me to struggle right now, I can lose my place right now if anything. And the most I take anything away from right now, you think I'm just gonna drop the sword? I'm not saying it's gonna be easy for everybody, but it tests your spirit. It's trying to test you how strong you are. Some brothers lose their children. They don't see their children for years. You understand? They don't see their children for years. Guess what? Either the Lord is going to bless them with more children, or they're going to end up with custody of their children somehow. You don't know. When they say the Lord works in mysterious ways, well, guess what? The Lord is testing you, because he could unalive you right now just by you failing the test of going back to the streets or going back to whatever life you were living before coming to this truth. You understand?
Right.
It's easy to get a bad habit, or it's easy to make a mistake. Right. That's why it's easy to just, fall for the trap.
Now, Brock, what you're saying is heavy. It's definitely easy to fall through the traps, right? Like, and that's what happens when you come to this truth and into the truth, right? Meaning you join I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA, a man who is greater than Martin Luther King, greater than Malcolm X, who didn't drop his sword, who hasn't turned on his people. And you start to see the traps being sprung up all around you, right? Martinez, you said my crown is my brain. What does that mean? What did you mean by that? That is such a Salakia. Some of y'all the topic, and I just wonder where is your mind at when you say these things? So if you could, we're trying to peer into your mind for a second. What did you mean by your crown is your brain? Right. And then I want to know what you did for Christmas. Like, how was your Christmas? What did you do? What did you do for New Year's? Did you go outside? Did you go celebrate the New Year's? Right. Those are my questions for you.
Select the other one.
Khan.
Sometimes the comments are so crazy. Sometimes it makes me wonder, are these people actually sane? Do they actually need help? That's what it makes me wonder sometimes.
Yeah. Wick, the topic is war. We're talking about going to war and how you go to war spiritually, right? Because again, if you live in a black history in the war and how you go to war spiritually, right? American community. So that's what we're talking about. Now, again, Simon was told that Satan desires to have him so he can sift him like wheat, right? Barak, drop that. We're going to go back to that in a moment. Go to Revelations 12 and 10, Baba Kasha.
Okay. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
Right. So what this is talking about, right? Wick, you said there is always going to be war. Well, Wick, what is your nationality? I always notice like there's people who jump on TikTok with no profile picture and they just say anything. So now, Wick, what is your nationality? Right. But I'm going to have Barack read this again. But what this is talking about is it's like a courtroom. I was trying to explain this earlier. There is a courtroom. Okay, so you said two things, and one of those is false. So let's find out which one is which, right? What is your father's nationality or ethnicity? I'm gonna say it like this. What's your father's ethnicity, Wick? Is he from the Caucasus Mountains? Like, does he look like Brad Pitt? Oh, you're Guatemalan. So you just a brother, right? You gotta get rid of that thinking that, listen, if your mother is a Caucasian woman, it is what it is, right? But you are the seed of your father. Science has already proved that brothers and sisters, they get all of their DNA, majority of it, from their father, right? It's just science is late to what the Bible has already told us, right? The Bible has already told us that we are the house of our father, right? You can find that. What is that, Barack? Numbers 1 and 18? Right? So the Bible already said that damn near 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Science is catching up now. Right? So Barack, read that again.
God, what kind of Revelations, chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our God.
Right? You gotta fight. You gotta fight for listen, once you win these battles, it's like, now I'm not trying to sound Christian at all, right? But you win these battles and it's like a little slice of heaven. It's close, you're getting closer to the kingdom of heaven, right? For an example, you and a brother, two brothers have a disagreement, and instead of separating, instead of hating each other and unaliving each other, they fight that demon, right? That demon of unaliving each other, they fight that demon and win. Now they don't unalive each other. Listen, they might not have been hearing each other, so they had wise men have a council with them. And they sat before wise men, and each of them spoke, and then the wise men gave them counsel. And now they are close again, right? They won. They won that battle. They did not lose to Satan. They are experiencing a little slice of heaven. It's bringing them a little bit closer to heaven, to the kingdom of heaven, which means you got to fight your temptation, right? Keep reading, Barack.
Khan. And the power of his Christ.
Read.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before.
Stop right there. Right? Who's the accuser, Barack? Before you do that, Barack, Wick Mike, you should check out I.S.U.P.K. Chicago. Listen, there is a mighty captain. We call him the Monster of Mayhem, Captain Mao Quad. Right? If you're on Facebook, just look for Ryan Mao Sims, right, on Facebook, and get in contact with that brother. And he's fixing Chicago one family at a time, one brother, one sister at a time, right? You definitely want to get in contact with him. You see what happens to demons, man. You should know what happens to demons. You didn't see the guys who killed Duck, who unalived Duck, they just were found guilty, right? King Von said he a demon. He lost that battle. He thought he was a demon. You can be a demon all you want, and then you go out of town and lose an away game. He thought he was on demon time, and there weren't other people that think they're on demon time. Lil Tim was on demon time too, and he put King Von down, right? You don't want to end up like Lil Tim. You got to get with Captain Malquad. Bro, keep reading.
Oh, that was the end of the verse. I don't want to say. No, Salakia. Which accused them before God day and night.
Right. Again, Barak, who's the accuser?
Salakia, would that be the Caucasian man, the devil the Bible speaks of?
No, okay, Barak, let's read this again. Read it from the top.
Oh. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God
All
and
right,
the
so
power.
Barak, the setting is heaven, meaning not like Christianity's heaven where you're unalive, you give up the ghost, and there's naked babies, right? Not the priest's heaven from the I'm not gonna say priest because they are not priests, not the Catholic Church version of heaven, right? Not the Black Christian Church, Kurt Franklin sitting on TD Jakes' lap heaven, right? But this is in the throne room or in front of the presence of the Most High. That's the setting, bro. Keep reading.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night.
So who's accusing the brethren before God day and night?
I'm not sure. I don't want to lock it.
No sweat, bro. For time's sake, this is talking about Satan, right? You just it's like what you read in Job, the first chapter, when the Lord is having counsel, and the Lord asked Satan, "Did you consider Job?" And Satan's response was, "You put a hedge around Job." Right? Satan is accusing the brethren or our brethren, right? Which is Christ talking and saying, Satan's accusing our brethren and he's cast down. Meaning, when you fight your demons, when you fight temptation, when you fight what the Most High, Salakia, the Most High is letting Satan go to work on you, right? And you might not get Operation Job. You might just get a light test, because Satan don't believe you. You think you're in the truth. You say you're in the truth. You say you're standing for the Lord. Satan don't believe you. Satan's proving Christians wrong every day. When Christians who say they believe in God, Satan proves them wrong. They say, the pastor is saying he believes in God, and then he's trying to sleep with your woman. Listen, I seen a post where Captain Tazariak said there's adultery in Israel. Ooh, Cross the Line Radio is going to be. Listen, y'all want to check out Cross the Line Radio tomorrow, man. That's one of the best shows in Israel. Top 5 shows in Israel. My top 5 shows is Black Watch, right? You got the Round Table of Truth. You got Rude in Speech, Black Watch, Rude in Speech, Cross the Line Radio, Let a Hebrew Speak, and there's one more. Salakia, there's one more. You just got to give me a second. I'll think about it. All right. But let's read this again. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuse them before our God day and night. Right? Winning makes you stronger. When you fight against whatever Satan is trying to do, you're stronger. You understand that, listen, you are stronger. You learn how to fight. It gives you damn near a peace of mind now that you know you're stronger, right? And listen, sometimes these battles seem like you're not going to win. The battles come across like, listen, oh man, this battle's a lot to deal with, right? You look at Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're weak people right now. And I know y'all don't want to hear that, but I'm just going to give you the truth because that's what I've been charged to do. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans right now, we're weak. You got Native Americans fighting and protesting to get Canada back. It's not happening without a higher power, right? That's the truth. Canada is not going to let you take Canada back. Like when I say that, I mean the government in Canada is not giving nothing to Native Americans back. Think about it. Justin Trudeau signed the Reconciliation Day, and then he went on vacation. He didn't even show up. So that should let you know you're not getting Canada back, right? Black people have been asking for reparations in the United States for a very long time, and you're not gonna get it. They're not getting it. What would you even do with the money? What would you go do? Buy some more Christmas trees? Go spend some more money on Louis Vuitton? Right? You wouldn't even know what to do with the money. The oppressor is not giving you a damn cent. That's not what the oppressor does. The oppressor will give you rice before he gives you money. Salakia. Right? And we're weak because we don't know we're at war. Once we understand that we're at war, we're going to be better off. Right? Satan's accusing us, and that's us being sifted. Okay, so Satan, like, even with this, it's saying that Satan is accusing us, right? There's no proof of what we've done yet. But he's saying, listen, Lord, these brothers are weak. And he's looking at Christ like, these are the people you died for, right? You got to think about the power that we serve. The power that we serve is, we serve a man of war, right? In the Old Testament, to pay for sin, you have to sacrifice your best. Christ is the Lord's best, right? That this is why I don't understand why you Christians be wearing cross on your necks, because that is a murder weapon. That is a weapon they put our king on, and you want to wear it and make it, you're wearing a symbol of his death. That's like, you know what a cross is like when you wear a cross? It's like you're wearing a noose. Like, it's like me, like I have two Magun Dawadas right now, right? But which is just the shield of David. It's not a star. A star is a ball of gas, right? This is our king's signature, his signet. It's like the seal of Zion, right? But if I had a chain, and instead of this Magun Dawada, the shield of David, I put a noose as the pendant. And that's what it looks like when Christians wear a cross, right? But Satan is accusing brothers and sisters. And as he's accusing them, there's actually no proof. But he's saying, this is what's happening. This is what they're going to do, Lord. And then he goes and tests you. So he can come back and say, I told you that's what they were going to do, right? And this verse is basically saying salvation is come and strength, meaning when you fight your temptations, you get more strength, right? It's like someone saying that you're a punk, or someone saying that you're a coward, and now you're on some, no, I'm not a coward. I'm going to prove to you that I'm not a coward, right? What we got to do is we got to not cry, right? We got to fight. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to fight. Crying is weak. Listen, no disrespect to any of the sisters, but let the sisters cry. The men, you got to stand up and fight. Let your daughters and children cry, right? We got to stand up and fight, right? That's why leaving a relationship is weak. Like, many brothers and sisters, they just want to leave. It's like, the best thing I could do is we could separate. No, that's not the best thing you could do. The best thing you could do is stay together so your children can see you stay together, and you could teach them how to have a healthy relationship. Because if you set the example of leaving, guess who's going to leave their partner, right? Your daughter's going to leave her man when she gets of age to take a husband. She's going to leave him because mom left, our father. Your son is going to get with women and not even take them seriously because he thinks that no woman is ever going to stick around because his own mother never stuck around with his father. Right? And that is just straight up facts. Right? Barak, what are we? Read that verse one more time, Barak.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Stop right
Which
there.
accuse them.
Stop right there. Right? The accuser of our brethren is cast down, meaning you want to stand for the Lord. Satan's going to test you at Luke 22 and 31. Right. So this is what you want to do. You want to basically go to war with all your demons. Right. Because if you don't go to war with all your demons, you're going to find yourself in a place you don't want to be. Barack, what's the time look like?
Yeah, now we're in 15 minutes. I'm gonna post the sign out links.
It's no, what time is it right now?
Oh, Salak, yeah, the one. It's 9:32 already.
No, I know that. I'm talking about the time on the stream.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. And now we're in 15 minutes.
It's 1 hour and 50 right now. Okay, no sweat, Rock. The water. We got a couple more, then we're gonna wrap it up, right?
If I may.
Con.
Now we're in 50 on the TikTok. On the StreamYard is 2 hours already.
Oh, no sweat. I'm going on to TikTok time.
Come on, yeah. Now we're in 15 minutes.
All right, so Barack, get back to Luke 22 and 31. Again, you want to fight your demons. You want to find out. You want to get that strength, man. Listen, when you fight your demons, it gives brothers and sisters who are watching you fight your demons the strength to fight with you, right? And this is the war that we face all the time, right? It's like for example, okay, you know, a brother or a sister who gets bullied in school, right? They're getting bullied, and another kid's getting bullied, and there's probably like 6 or 7 other kids getting bullied by this one person, right? That's how Satan is. Satan is just trying to bully you into submission, into going against the Lord, so he can win his court case in the heavens and tell the Lord, listen, I told you they weren't going to do it. Right? I told you, Christ, that you went on that cross for no reason. They're not going to listen. Right? But the brother, instead of being bullied and going with the bullying, he starts to fight back. And one of those kids who are being bullied in the hallway starts to see that he's fighting back. That kid who didn't have the courage because he sees you fighting is going to join in to help you destroy the bully, to beat up the bully. And that, and listen, you might not even see that this kid is even helping you. Right? Well, that's how Christ is. You start to fight your demons, and Christ is going to fight with you. Right? You start to lose to your demons and just give in. Well, why the hell would Christ do anything for that? Why would Christ even try to stop you from losing to your demons if you're not going to fight for yourself? The Christian church is telling you not to fight for yourself. The Christian church is telling you the whole opposite. The Christian church is telling you give into your demons. Right? Barak, read one more time.
This is Luke chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan had desired to have you.
Keep reading.
That he may sift you as wheat.
Right. You said you were in the truth, and now Satan's trying to prove you wrong. Satan wants to see if you are actually in the truth. Right? He's trying to sift you as wheat to find out if you're gold or are you a piece of rock. Right? Are you gold that's going to go into the fire and become something amazing? Or are you just a rock that's just going to get thrown out and tossed by the wayside? That's what the Lord is presiding over, right? He's presiding over a battle between Satan and Christ in the heavens. And they're trying to see, are you going to stand for Christ or are you going to let Satan have his way with you? Right? Read verse 32.
Verse 32. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not.
Right. So again, Christianity makes us weak. We're supposed to go to war, right? Listen, there's a culture in Israel that we abide by, and that culture is war. It's fighting your demons. It's not giving into whatever these oppressors want us to give into.
Right.
Right. Listen, there's times when you can't see when you have to fight because of Christianity. Right. You can't see that. Listen, this is a time to fight right now. In the I.S.U.P.K, we understand that we're always on 100. Right. You have to be on 100. You can't be on 0. Don't ever be on 0. Be on 100. Wake up on 100, ready to fight. In other words, like, listen, what I'm telling you is fall asleep with your shoes on. Listen, brothers in jail know this. There's brothers in jail who know they have to wake up on 100. They can't wake up and put their shoes on. They got to wake up with their shoes on, ready to scrap at any time. Right. They hear that door open, they're already up before the doors open because they're on 100. That's what you have to do. In Christianity, you're getting caught. Listen, these Christians are getting caught in their boxes. in their undergarments, right? You hear all the stories coming out. You always have to be ready, right? That you, when you fight your demons, it gives strength to your brother. Keep reading.
Khan.
Read it from the top, actually, Barack.
Khan. Luke chapter 22, verse 32. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Right. Christ is praying that Peter doesn't fail. Right? Salakia. He's praying that he doesn't fail. And when thou art converted, strengthen your brethren. Right? Meaning when you make it through this demon, this battle that you're going through, you're going to give strength to your brethren so they can fight. Right? Here's an example. How am I gonna say this? Listen, y'all all heard of the brother Tory Lanez? He was not supposed to get with Megan Thee Stallion, right? What he was supposed to do is find a sister that's not a hoe, right? When the hoes try to talk to you, you're supposed to not talk to them. That shows the brethren in the world. Listen, maybe we don't have to talk to hoes. Now look, Satan won that battle. That brother whole life was thrown away. And this is crazy, Barack. Listen, Barack, this brother comes from a city full of pretty sisters. I'm from Toronto. One city over is a city called Brampton, where Tory Lanez is from. And Tory Lanez could have got 15 sisters out of that city. Good night. And changed all their lives. And listen, now I don't know what he's doing in that jail, Salakia. They say he's having a good time, but I can't tell, man. That's captivity, right? Read that last part again.
Khan. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren.
Right. Yahushua or Christ is telling Peter, strengthen thy brethren, right? Why? It's because, listen, okay, I'm going to say it like this. Christ paid the price for us, and fighting saves lives, right? You might not understand that. You might not understand that there's a time when we're supposed to fight, and it saves lives, right? When you fight, you give strength to your brethren. You fight your demons and you teach your people. Imagine Martin Luther King told us, listen, we are at war right now with a nation that hates us, right? So instead of going to be hand in hand with their daughters and their sons, we're going to not go on the bus, and we're going to let them ride their bus, and we're going to build our own bus system. We would own an industry. Right. I was listening to a class from General Mahayaman. This was, I think it was the Monday night scripture breakdown. I was listening to it at work, and we found out that 95% of the Dunkin' Donuts on the East Coast, from New York down to Florida, are owned by one particular group of people, right? The so-called East Indians. Why? Because they decided to all work on one accord. If we listened to what the Bible said instead of Martin Luther King, we would own the buses. Right? You bring it to Canada. You just think of any industry in Canada that we could take over. Look at the Tim Hortons in Canada. Haven't you noticed all one particular people work there? Right? Just look. Have you ever tried to apply for a job at Tim Hortons? How many Hispanic or Black people do you see in them Tim Hortons? Tim Hortons, for those who might not understand, Tim Hortons, if you're outside of Canada, is a coffee shop chain, right? And it's particularly ran by East Indians as well. Tamils and other heathen nations, but not so-called black people, right? And we could have, it would be easy for us to just get into a specific industry and take it over. But we're not given the right instructions by these Christian pastors. The Christian pastors only care about taking our money and sleeping with our wives. That's why it's a detriment for Black, Hispanics, and Native American brothers to be in these churches. You do not want to be in these churches at all, right? Again, life is about war, and that's all you see in the Bible, war, right? So I'm going to go through, so like we are getting up on the time. Barak, bring me to Genesis 22 and 24 real quick. 32 and 24, Salakia, 32 and 24. I'm going to show you more war where you got to fight. You got to give your all. You got to be willing to not compromise when it comes to this Salakia. Like no compromising. Compromising is how you lose a battle. Right? Like you can ask my rib, but there's no compromise when it comes to following the Lord. When it comes to following the Lord, there's no compromising. There's no Christmas in this house. There's no Valentine's Day. I've been with my rib for a while now. She hasn't got a single Valentine's Day. Bro, listen, I go play ball on Sundays. I was talking to the brothers. They were talking about Valentine's Day one day. I told them, what the hell, you guys still celebrating that stuff? Like, grow up. Like, you guys are kids? And they're like, nah, you have to get the women these gifts and stuff. I said, I don't have to get a woman nothing like that. They're like, so yo, you don't get your girl nothing? I said, no. Bro, you know they didn't believe me. They looked at me like, right. They looked at me like, nah, this man's capping. You can't be with this lady for so long and you haven't got her a Valentine's Day gift. I proved it to them I didn't have a Valentine's Day gift. I put my rib on the phone. Listen, my rib knows these brothers, right? So I'll leave it like that. I put my rib on the phone and I asked her, my love, how long we been together? She said, how long we been together? I'm like, all right, cool. In that time, how many Valentine's Day gifts did I get you? She said 0. You should have seen the look on these brothers' faces. They were in shock, Barak. Why are they in shock? Because they're compromising in their house. They're giving these their ribs Valentine's Day gifts. Right. Listen, man, I treat these comments like the kingdom of heaven, Barak. Salakia. Good night. I treat these comments like the kingdom of heaven, man. You just might get kicked out real fast.
Some people just need to get evaluated before and leave social media alone until they get evaluated and get the help that they need.
Yeah, they get help. All right, Barak, read Genesis 32 and 24 for me real quick.
Okay, this is the book of Genesis chapter 32, verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Who was this man that he was wrestling, Barak?
So like an angel.
Right. There's a time when Jacob was wrestling with an angel. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
Right. So Jacob is fighting with this angel. And the angel's like, damn, this brother's not giving up. Like, yo, quit. And Jacob's not quitting. Jacob was going to war with this angel. He was fighting, right? And there's a reason why he fought so much, right? And we're going to read it. You're going to understand why you have to fight. What you have to do is fight your demons at all costs. Do not let your demons win ever. Listen, I walk down the street sometimes and I see brothers. Listen, man, I pray the Lord allows me to see some millions of dollars so I can start putting in the work for, okay, I'm not going to say it like that, right? Because we're already putting in work, right? If you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, flood the coffers of the I.S.U.P.K so we can start to feed brothers and sisters in Canada, right? You see us on these TikTok streams, send us all the roses, all the galaxies, all those things that you're gonna send the whores. Don't send them to the whores, send them to us. Because I see brothers outside in my city struggling. And when I mean struggling, I mean they're sleeping on the streets. And if I could, I would give them everything that I have. Right? While Justin Trudeau is giving away millions, our brothers and sisters are giving away dollars to these girls who are doing these stupid TikTok AIs. When you should be flooding the coffers of give Commanding General YAHANNA the money so we could go and feed brothers and sisters like Commanding General YAHANNA fed brothers and sisters in New York. Just go on Black Watch on the YouTube and look for Commanding General YAHANNA feeding the Venezuelan migrants, clothing them. That's what we need to do in Canada. Because what else are you going to do? You're going to go to Club 44 in Lavelle? You're going to go to Juliet and buy a $500 bottle? Bro, you know that's what they do in the clubs. They go downtown in the club district, Barack. You know the club district where we took those pictures, right? And listen, there's nothing wrong with going to the club, but I'm not buying a $500 bottle that costs $80 in LCBO.
That's lunacy.
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense, right? But Jacob fought. I see these brothers who lost their battles to demons, and now they're sleeping on the floor outside. Keep reading, Barack.
Karawakan. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him.
Right. So the angel had to knock out Jacob's thigh, make him paralyzed on that side, so Jacob could stop fighting. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 26. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaketh."
Listen, the angel told Jacob, let him go. Day's about to break. Like, we've been fighting all night. Like, what are you doing? Listen to what Jacob said.
And he said, "I will not let thee go except thou bless me."
Wait. Jacob said what, Barack?
I will not let thee go.
Jacob was a fighter. He was fighting. There was a reason why he was fighting. Keep reading, Barack.
Except thou bless me.
Jacob was fighting for a blessing. Now, 1 second. Why was Jacob fighting for a blessing? Right? I'm going to give you the answer because we're short on time. Because a blessing from the Most High is one of the most powerful things you'll ever get. It's the best thing you'll ever get, a blessing from the Most High. And Jacob fought for it. You want to fight your demons so you can get these blessings, right? Just look at David versus Goliath, right? I'm not going to get into those. I do have those written down, but we are short on time, right? Maybe I might do a breakdown, right? But David was a fighter. David was a man who went to war for his nation. Right? I think I'm going to have to definitely do a breakdown on that. But listen, what you want to do is fight for your people. You want to fight your demons. Life is about war. It's a good thing to go to war. The Christian church will have you believe that you're not supposed to go to war. You're supposed to be soft and effeminate, and you're supposed to love the people who are hurting you. That's why when that sister was fighting that devil and went to go hit him with a chair because he was beating her up, the brother jumped in to stop her from hitting him with the chair. He did not fight the oppressor for hitting a black woman. The oppressor grabbed the sister and body slammed her. That brother will forever be a punk. He will forever be a coward. You could never, ever in your life think that you could come around me as an oppressor and try to fight any of our sisters. Listen, that brother will be in the morgue and I'll be somewhere fighting for my freedom, and it'll be all right because I'll just raise up a whole yard of brothers to come into the truth. So with that said, fight your demons. I'm going to hand this class over to Barack.
Okay, hey, clap it up. Yes, and this is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, taught out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. We have the Feast of Purim, which is the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, which falls on Thursday, the 22nd, and Friday, the 23rd of February, 2024. You can read more about it in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 to 31. Reminder to all Akim and Aquatin to check the bulletin board in the hallway of their school if they have a physical location, and if a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boot shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, I'm going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barak Thumb. Meaning Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless y'all. Yajamata, which means hands down. Sar, which means to turn and face the sisters if you have any in your presence. We'll give them the courtesy salute as well. All right. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat. Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alathan Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Meaning Yahweh, so like it. Meaning Yahweh watch over y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh protect y'all in the name of Yahweh Shai. Yajamata, class dismissed. To water for tuning in. And remember, also, we have the Lord's 55th annual Passover coming up April 20th, 2024. Is going to be in Durham, North Carolina. Every single man, women, children, descendant of so-called Blacks, Hispanics, or Native American Indian on their father's side is invited and is welcome to kick it with us. Again, it's going to be April 20th